Ranger Survival Guidebook Issue Number 2, Shelter. To survive for a long period of time, you'll need a place both out of the rain and warm. You can achieve this a number of different ways, one of which I will show you in this video. Here, I will teach you how to build a simple shelter out of rammed earth and any logs you can chop down. Firstly, take your axe and chop down a few trees. I would recommend using one type of log for the shelter, but to each their own. If you want a patchwork shelter made out of oak, Arcadia, willow, whatever, be my guest, but I would recommend making out of one. Dig a small pit 2 blocks deep into the ground, like in the video, to achieve a decent foundation, and use the logs to build a roof above it. That way, it is less logs to actually establish it, and you can still build off of it. Take wattle gates made from sticks and your knife and put 2 of those in one above the other to make a door. If you want to put your door back on every 3 minutes though, you can use a crude door, but I recommend wattle gates because wattle gates do not pop off every minute. Now establish a sleeping area and establish a cooking area. They should be opposite of each other, that way, nothing happens. Gather grass, turn it into hay blocks, and then create basic hay bed to sleep through the night with. Ensure the area inside your shelter is properly lit up at all times to avoid the rustic creatures from invading your home from the shadow realm. They will spawn anywhere that is darkness. I have them spawn in my cellar all the time. Establish an area opposite of your bed, and that is where your fire pit will be. Now you have a place to hunker down for the night, to retreat when things get bad, and to cook food in a safe environment in. Side note, however, when winter hits and if you are fortunate enough to still have a simple shelter like this with wattle gates and what else, it will still insulate you as long as you replace the wattle gates with dirt blocks, use that as your door, and you keep that fireplace roaring, you will survive in the winter. Now, there's also an emergency shelter variant of this. This is essentially just a small hole in the ground, usually a 4x4 or 6x6, leading down with dirt blocks used as a door, and a hay bed to sleep up at night. I use those all the time for traveling long distances or early game, but again, you can do either one. And if you don't want to build a small shelter like shown in the video, the way it is like that, be my guest, build as much any way you want, This is a building game, do what you want. It's not the greatest looking shelter in the world, but each person has their own taste, and this is personally what I like. However, you should never make your shelter out of gravel, sand, or other blocks that can fall, especially ceilings. Anyways, this has been another guide. Peace out.